Hello, it's this Mr. Gambino here with a new stream. And this stream, we're going to be going over the event week for this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. I guess technically it started last week, so I'm doing it on like very early Monday. Event week came out very early Thursday, as per usual. But yes. Just like last event week, there's going to be absolutely no new content. So it's just a bunch of money opportunities and like discounts pretty much. So do not expect anything too significant. But yes, the theme this time around for the event week goes over to like contract, like agency kind of stuff this time around, which is pretty nice. I think it definitely has some of the better money opportunities as of lately, I feel. Because that means stuff like security contracts and like payphone hits. Those are both definitely some pretty nice money-making methods. And then the data leaks, especially, which I chose for the title on 90 times money in RP. Apparently, that is the Dr. Dre finale mission, and then that's normally $1 million. So instead, you get like $2 million, which is pretty crazy from what I've heard. From what I have heard, that is indeed the finale mission where you get the 1 million normally. So that should be an easy 2 million in like a couple of hours. I think it's like a 2 to 3 hour set of missions if you do it pretty efficiently. So yes, you can make some pretty crazy money this time. Especially with the nerfs that have pretty good within the last couple of updates. You should definitely be able to have a pretty fun time with this mission here, the data breach, whatever I'm mentioning. It's not listed there, but yeah. It's not listed on the thing I'm hovered, but people should get what I mean, essentially. But yeah, there's 40% off, like, agency discounts here. Purchase agency, and you'll get bonuses for contract content. So the agency itself is on a 40% off discount. Upgrades as well. Agency, like I mentioned, it has some of the better, like, later, like, money opportunities in the game. It was like a 2021 DLC, and it's definitely had some of the best payouts, I feel, as of the last, like, year to two, I feel. Definitely. But yeah, if you do like 200 or like 201 security contracts, you can get that like passive safe build up to like $20,000 every like 48 minutes, which is pretty insane. So the agency is a very damn good passive money income if you're willing to put all the time into security contracts. So yeah, the agency is very nice for passive money, even if you don't do this stuff pretty actively. As long as you do like 200, 201 security contracts, you basically don't necessarily have to bother too much with the agency anymore from there. It can pretty much pay for itself from there. If you play the game a lot. Faith on hits, when you do the bonus, those can get like over 100,000, I think. Or almost 100,000 on like regular money, and for sure on like a money opportunity, that's pretty much always over 100,000. And you can do like a payphone hit every like 20 minutes or something. So you can make it easy, a couple 100,000 on those. For some agency stuff there, it's a very damn good property for the money opportunities. Definitely get one on 40% off if you do not have one. And then yeah, for upgrades, the agency definitely has one of your better vehicle storage upgrades because it actually gives you access to the Amani tech. The agency is literally the only place that you can get the Amani tech, which lets you get certain vehicles. You can get like missile lock-on jammers on certain vehicles, which prevents getting locked onto, which is pretty cool. If you have a lot of people bothering you in like player versus player or something, it's definitely pretty cool for that. And even if not, there are vehicles with some pretty nice armor in the agency. With that like Amani tech and stuff, so you can get some very amazing armor on some of those vehicles. That's a very nice renovation, like upgrade you can get there. The armory is pretty nice as well. The armory upgrade provides some of your like better discounts for like weapons aside for that like rotating like daily gun van thing that moves like every single day. And like the arsenal changes every single week and whatnot. So the agency armory is still very relevant in my opinion because you pretty much have access to almost everything at any time, unlike with the gun van. And it doesn't move every day like the gun van does. So that's a couple recommendations for upgrades right off the bat. More details on some of it later on though. But yeah, community series, 2 times money in RP. Apparently it is also becoming a permanent bonus as well, so from here on out it will stay at 2 times money in RP. Which is definitely very nice. It gives a permanent incentive to start playing the community series. And yeah, since it's going to be forever 2 times my RP, I might not play this stuff anymore in future events. Maybe, maybe not. The community series doesn't have anything too crazy for money making. You're definitely going to be better off with other stuff. It definitely has some of the funnest stuff though, so if you want a lot of fun in the game, then it's definitely very fun. Since there's definitely a lot more replayability on the community stuff, I would say, compared to a lot of the Rockstar created stuff. Even when it comes to your serious money makers, even kind of. And yeah, plus, nothing new there. Just listen there. Plus, 2 more advertisements for Plus. They really want me getting that subscription. Nope, still not getting it. Whole confirmation thing on the thing I got for a login reward, or not a login reward, but for a daily stash house thing or something. Nothing crazy there. More Plus advertisements. Wow. But yes, as I was kind of hinting at earlier when I was explaining some of the stuff the agency can provide you to show, to tell like how worthwhile it is for the 40% off the property discount. I was on the main menu there. Some of the numbers and stuff here. There is double rewards on the security contracts, which is the 201 thing that you can do to get your passive safe up to like $20,000 every 48 minutes. And yeah, Specialist Plus especially can get some pretty insane numbers. Specialist Plus like normally could be like 50, 60,000 or something if I'm remembering right, so you might even be able to get like, I don't know, you might be able to get some like 6-digit numbers on like the couple Specialist Plus ones for all I know. I forget, I'll have to kind of check later on and I'll go in details more about like advice and stuff later on. And then yeah, 1.5 times my RP on payphone hits. You have to get the bonus on this payphone hits for them to even be worth it. If you fail the bonus, I think you can just like go into another lobby and then you can just start another payphone hit. It won't like, I don't think it contributes towards the cooldown unless you finish a payphone hit. If it's anything like the Dax Fulligan jobs, if it's anything like that. So yeah, definitely make sure you get the bonus. Otherwise, it's not worth your time. 1.5 times with the bonus, I think. With 1.5 times, it should for sure be over 100,000. Whereas I think normally it's like 70, 80,000 with bonus or something. So yeah, very nice money there. And again, you can do like a couple every 20 minutes. You can make easy a couple $100,000 just purely with the payphone hits. And combining that with the security contracts, every once in a while as well, you can make some crazy free mode money in this event. And yeah, there were rewards in the data leaks. Now, from what I've heard, it is the major $1 million payout that gets doubled. Apparently, that's the $2 million payout. It's not like the smaller missions that give barely any money. I don't think it's the smaller missions. I think it's the actual finale mission, which is nice. And yeah, login reward here, the white DJ PT. So it seems just a new login reward. I did actually log in the game earlier, off of the stream, before doing the stream and stuff, and I did obtain a cloven thing. So I think it's definitely a new one they have not provided before. And it says something about completing the data leaks and 6 Dr. Dre tracks in GTA Online and debuted the contracts. But yeah, I think normally when you complete the data leaks, actually. But yes, I think when you normally complete the data leaks, you have to get a memory stick or something. I think you have to get a memory stick, a music stick or something, and then you get the music. So I'm not sure if they're giving you the 6 tracks that you normally need a music stick for or whatever without obtaining the music stick. I'm not sure if that's what's kind of saying there. So I'm not sure if that's something kind of different going on there or if it just kind of seems that that's always happened with it. So there might be kind of an extra little incentive to do the data leaks even if you have done it before. Maybe. I don't know, there's kind of a bit of music stuff on the news where it's a little confusing. And then, yeah, there's double rewards on Into the Wild. And yes, I know Into the Wild is not going to sound very familiar for most people, and that's because apparently it is the versus mode. So it is one of those modes that will be brought back for the month of March. For those that don't know, there's pretty much every versus mode and most of the adversary modes they kind of put into a rotation. Every month they do certain adversary modes and versus modes every once in a while or something. So apparently this versus mode is back for a limited time only for the month of March. Expected to be out of the game in April for who knows how long, maybe even forever. But yeah, style game mode seems to be a modern twist on a classic capture the flag. Team of runners must deliver score to hideout before taken out by buzzard helicopters. Sounds like it can be a pretty damn fun game mode for sure. If community series isn't your thing and you want some fun, then maybe this can be some of the fun you can obtain in the game for the week. If you're playing more for fun and not for money. Because yeah, for money it's going to be pretty terrible. Again, it's kind of just going to be your typical adversary mode, game mode payout. It's not going to be anything super crazy. Maybe a couple 100,000 at most, and that would probably be for playing it for an hour or so, depending on amount of rounds and whatnot that you can maybe do. It's definitely not going to be very great for money. And yeah. Speaking of the fan I was mentioning with the community series, doesn't show anything about the community series on the image, and the image is obviously the versus mode I was talking about, but yeah. Now with persistently doubled payouts, persistent means it's permanent double payouts now, for those guys that are not aware, like I was saying earlier. that's basically it, aside for the stuff in game that they want to show in the what's new section on the 9th gen version of the game, and the like fancy main menu and everything. Okay, 9 days left in the subscription stuff on 9th gen, whatever. Whatever, Rockstar, I'm not the most fond with that, but okay. Ah. Of course, I already have my annoying piece of shit big brother in my fucking way. Fucking connected ass fucking bathroom hallway in my fucking between my fucking room and someone else's fucking room. Of course. No one. But yeah. Of course, like I usually do here, I'll first talk about these time trials and whatnot. But yeah, starting off, the regular time trial for the week here will be Stab City. According to that little description, it looks like it goes from Stab City to Vinewood Hills. Which, yeah, seems like a totally fair distance for 2 minutes of time. But yeah. There might be like certain like shortcuts from like the Cata Libre like storyline mission, I think, that work pretty well for that time trial or something. If those if anyone's familiar with like the Cata Libre like storyline mission, I think there's like certain like areas that can be pretty useful from that. Or if not, then you kind of just go like off-road, kind of up to the hill, I think. Is some of the like more optimal strategies that I've experienced at least. And yes, I think because this time trial is going to have a lot of like off-roady shortcuts, you're probably going to want to be taking. I really don't necessarily think a supercar is going to be all that efficient. So I'll probably just mention motorcycles, so I don't have to talk about it as long. But yeah. On 9th gen, there's one clear, good motorcycle option, I would say, and that would be your HSW Hot Drag. HSW Hot Drag on 9th gen will pretty much be your number one time trial option if you use it pretty efficiently, I would say, for like 99% time trials in the game. HSW Hot Drag's your one HSW motorcycle in the game. As for the 8th gen version of the game, if you were stuck on the 8th gen version of the game still, Western Reaver from the Contract DLC, the Western Reaver is a pretty damn good top speed option. I think the Western Reaver is actually technically better top speed than the HSW Hot Drag as well, which is kind of crazy. Like by like a few to several numbers or something, but like less than 10 miles per hour, so it's not necessarily that much of a difference. I think you could definitely be very much fine with your HSW Hot Drag, especially on 9th gen where you'll want the lap time as well. But HSW Hot Drag definitely still has the lap time over the Reaver and its top speed though. On 8th gen, your number one top speed option for motorcycle class definitely still goes to the Western Reaver for 8th gen, top speed number one. But yeah, since it can be kind of more of an off-roady, like, time trial again, I think like the My Batsu Manchester Scout from like the Caprico Heist DLC can definitely be a pretty nice option, which is like one of your other better top speed options in the form of like a dirt bike even, so it could have a bit of advantages for this one as well. Nagasaki Shotaro, like the Tron bike, can be pretty decent. That one's nice because you can go like forward or backwards with your stick for that best possible speed, whereas most motorcycles you have to kind of go for like a wheelie for your best possible speed. Shotaro you can do like forward on your stick, like if you're doing a stoppie on that for the best possible speed there. And then lately with those Santos Drug Wars DLC, that new motorcycle is definitely a pretty interesting option, the new Power Surge. New Power Surge, despite being an electric motorcycle, is still within the top 10, I think, of top speed, which is pretty good for an electric vehicle in the game. Most electric vehicles tend to have poor top speed, but not the Power Surge per se. But yeah, top speed's very niche, I would say, compared to lap time. It's not going to be like a number one lap time option or anything for the Power Surge either, but being like the only electric motorcycle apparently in the entire game should give it some acceleration benefits if you were to be like slowed down for some reason, and you could get up back to speed pretty quick. So Power Surge is definitely a very new interesting option with the Drug War DLC now. And yeah, regular Hot Drag if you're on 8th gen, the regular Hot Drag on 8th gen can be very nice. I don't know why I put HSW there too, but yeah, with what I was saying there, but whatever. So I think those would be the few options I share for 8th gen. And yeah, hold on, I'm going to mention a bit more for 9th gen as well, actually. But yeah, if you want to use other HSW vehicles and you don't want to use the drag for any reason, then I would say pretty much the HSW supercars or any of those like Criminal Enterprise DLC HSW vehicles, which is the Sterling GT HSW and then the Vigero ZX HSW, which I think is some of your better top speed options, can be some of your better options. typically for these time trials. Sure, I'll do a stash house since someone's in my fucking way today.
You got nowhere to go now. Get into cover!
Asshole!
You cocksucker!
Dude!
Don't get hurt! Take cover!
Die.
Carlos got hit. Ah! You motherfucker! Ah! Take some goddamn cover, I said! Oh, fuck! Eduardo is hit! Reload! Move in now! Yeah!
Hey, goddamn, this one's really beating my fucking way in my life right now, of course. Stash houses are pretty good though, so I want to do it every day now. To be fair though, when I do these live streams. Oh yeah, no cinematic on this one, that's right. 2011, 97, I think. I guess it was. Alright, wheat farm been resupplied. Nice. Dude, fuck off. But yeah, there's Mandio down around here, a little salt park. I can still mention him before some fucking dump bug gets in my fucking way again. But yeah, Mercy Bandito Town Trials honestly not really that amazing anymore. only like $100,000. They're pretty much the same every single time. You just gotta know how to corner on them and whatnot. You only get the one vehicle option with the RC Bandito. I don't really recommend them. But that's what it is for those interested. And yes, HSW Tundra this time around will be Del Perro Beach. This one I'm pretty sure goes over to the Lester Warehouse area. Which is like Marietta Heights. Yeah, I think it's this area over here. Like that Lester Warehouse. From some of those like contact missions it goes to. And yeah, notice you don't see a park time there. So technically you can use anything pretty effectively in this for HSW. And then I already gave the good options earlier with the regular time trial.
Fuck off.
The Diamond Casino and Resort presents a brand new car available to win today, simply with the spin of a wheel.
Hey, God damn, someone's in a fucking way in my real life right now. Fucking piece of shit, big fucking brother. Shit, though. But yeah, anyways, podium vehicle for the week here is the Obey on this, like, EGT or something, one of those, like, what's it called?
Indulge yourself at the casino store, where the
One of those Amani Tech vehicles that you can only do in, like, the agency, like, garage thing I was mentioning earlier. I'm giving, like, a little hint at, like, 40% off, like, the agency and the renovations, like, how good it is and whatnot. So, yes. It is one of your Amani Tech vehicles. It is definitely a very worthwhile podium vehicle, so if you get it, it's a very nice one. I'll mention a bit more on it later on after the wheels spin here. We got clothing unlock, a red Bowden blazer. We'll definitely always take clothing here. Clothing can definitely be some of the nicer stuff. Definitely much better off than RP. Yeah, definitely think it's on a legendary motorsport. Alright, yes. I'll make sure on the news wire that this is it before I go talking about it here. Pretty certain it is. Alright, yes, so be on this EGT. But yes. As you can see in the description here, it does have that missile lock-on jammer, the remote control unit, slug lines, armor plating. So yes, as I was saying, it is in the money tech vehicle, as I was predicting. It did appear to have a livery on it, so if you do keep the livery, you'll probably get another like 20 to 30,000 in addition on the savings there. And yes, I forget if this one has a trade price or not. Because it is one of those Criminal Enterprise DLC ones, I think, because it's from Criminal Enterprise, it probably does not have a trade price, I'm guessing. So this might be the price for everybody, or... But yeah, at least $1.795 million savings. Again, if you keep the livery, you don't change the livery at all, you keep the livery, then that's another like 20 to 30,000 or so. So you get a little over 1.8 million savings that way. But yes, this is actually a pretty good Minetech vehicle in some ways. Though in some other ways, it's also some of the shittiest Minetech vehicles as well. But yes, starting off with some of the good of this Minetech vehicle, it is an electric vehicle. It is an electric car, which means you can have a really good time with the remote control unit. Because it's an electric car. But yeah, because it's an electric car with the remote control unit, it's pretty silent. Fuck off. God. Now if I could finally mention some fucking shit without somebody in my fucking goddamn fucking way though. But yes, because it's an electric car, remote control unit is actually a very damn good option on this one, which you cannot really say that for much of another Minetech vehicle. There is actually another electric car coming out actually with the Drug Wars DLC that will be having a Minetech as well. So yeah, there is going to be another Minetech vehicle coming out in the Drug War DLC that apparently will be very good with the remote control unit as well. So it won't be the only one for long, but it will definitely be one of your better options still for a remote control unit. With it being electric, you can sneak up on people pretty nice with that. And then the other major advantage to this vehicle is its explosive resistance, actually. Apparently it has the highest explosive resistance of any Mine-Tech vehicle from what I've heard. I think the usual is like 6 to 8 rockets or something. I think the usual is like 6 or 8 rockets, and apparently it's like 12 or something on this one. That's an example I've heard of, at least. So it's an electric vehicle, and then the explosive resistance is its main pros. Main downsides of this one, though, you do not get bullet-resistant glass. So unlike the older Mine-Tech vehicles, these Criminal Enterprise DLC ones do not have bullet-resistant glass. Drug War DLC and Mine-Tech vehicles do not have bullet-resistant glass either. So unfortunately, you are very much exposed in this vehicle. So you will have to worry a lot about the gunfire if you're actually inside of the vehicle. Another reason why the remote control unit on this one can be very nice. And then, yeah. Another weird thing with the newer Mine-Tech vehicles is there's no machine guns on the front. So you cannot put like front-mounted weaponry on there, unfortunately. So those are the couple major downsides. But yes, test rides this time around. I will go to the Inveterate Cockpit Blackfin, the Karen Futo GTX, and then the Dinka Jester Classic. Of all of them, there's only one that is from the tuner subclass. So thankfully there's not a lot of them from the tuner subclass, like they've been doing a few times with the ones with the Drug War DLC. Doing all tuner subclass vehicles, I think it's definitely a very boring theme for the test track vehicles, so nice to definitely have some variety this time. But yeah, first of all, I'll have to see what's even on discount here. Alright, so it's our Classic, and then the Futo GTX are on 40% discount for the Sport class. Inveterate Cockpit Blackfin, the muscle car, will be your full price vehicle. So being a full price vehicle, it's just not going to be that great to obtain it. I feel you would want to get a vehicle on sale and not one on full price. So yeah, on the Cockpit Blackfin, you'll be spending the full price of $695,000. So yes, almost $700,000 for that muscle car there. But yes. I'm trying to think what to say about this vehicle. Oh yeah, the Cocklet Blackfin is actually a very old vehicle in this game. Like, not the make of the vehicle, but like when it was released in the game. It's a vehicle from like 2015. I think it was one from like the Ill-Gotten Gains DLCs, up to Part 1, Part 2 of Ill-Gotten Gains. For those that do not know, the Ill-Gotten Gains updates were actually ones that also made it into the story mode of the game, so Cocklet Blackfin is such an old like vehicle release in the game, you can actually get it in the story mode. So in addition to it being full price, another reason not to get it is you can just obtain it in the story mode. And there's no like exclusive liveries or anything for it as far as I'm aware in the online, so not really much reason to get in, to be honest. Not gonna go into exact numbers because it's not on discount. For performance, but yeah. Onto the Karen Futo GTX. That is one of those like 17 to like 19 like tuners class vehicles in the game, which means you can use it in street races, pursuit races, any of that like tuner particular content. That also includes the robbery contracts. You can use it in those like robbery contracts, which is a pretty nice money making method you can do in the game. That also increases your tuner reputation at the same time, which is nice. And yes, because of the tuner subclass, there's not very much exact numbers I'm going to be giving for this vehicle, because you'll mainly want to use it in the street races and pursuit races. The numbers I go over would be for like the general like sport class, and I already know those numbers aren't really going to be that impressive. But yes, basically, as far as I remember on this one, the performance, the lap time is absolute shit. Or like, the lap time's not like a very top option at least. Top speed, on the other hand, is where this one accelerates in. So this one will be very nice for straights. So therefore, I don't really see it being very good for your street races and pursuit races. It might, on the other hand, be pretty good for your like robbery contracts, though. If you had those like robbery contracts, it might be pretty good for those. All depends on if you can put those like rear louvers on the back. If you can put like rear louvers on the back or some way of like protecting your windshield for not taking as much bullet damage in the game, and yeah, it could be nice for robbery contracts, possibly, no. But yeah, top speed is kind of a pretty niche use when it comes to a race. You would most likely want a lap time over top speed. So yeah, for the most part, I don't really recommend this one. And then last but not least, will be the Dinket Jester Classic from back during the like After Hours DLC. It was like a mid 2018 DLC vehicle release, so it's quite the few years old at this point. And yeah, that one's in the sport class, and again, it will be 40% off, just like your GTX. And yes, according to Bruffy1322 spreadsheet, like a racing YouTuber, the Jester Classic is at the very bottom of the D tier for the sport class, which apparently makes it a 63rd place lap time, which is pretty terrible. There's like 100-ish like sport cars in the game, so it's still below average even with like the crazy amount of sport cars in the game. Obviously nowhere near top 10, but also not like above average either. And then yeah, top speed for it is apparently 40th place. Again, I'll be nowhere near your top 10. But yeah, it's one of those like classic sport cars that they put into the sport class. I think the community actually wanted it in the sport class though. I think apparently it actually makes more sense in the sport class for this vehicle, despite it being like a classic sport car. But because of that, the performance is not that great. So yeah, it's a classic sporty vehicle in the sport class that does not make for a very good performance typically. And yeah, prize ride this time around goes to the Obey Omnis. Prize ride challenge this time around involves the Pursuit series. And that will be placed top 3 for 3 days in a row on that Pursuit series. Now, for those that do not understand the Pursuit series, that is a 4-player minimum race. That means you have like 75% chance on like a bare minimal pursuit race with 4 players. That's essentially a 75% chance of the top 3. So, unless you're like absolutely shit at driving a field and against randoms, you should be able to eventually do within a couple tries, I would say, at most, per day. But, honestly, it is not a very great vehicle now when it comes to a prize ride, though. I feel this is quite the strict challenge for a vehicle that's not really going to be that great. I'll explain a couple reasons why it's not that great. But yes, the Obey Omnis. If you notice, I have a $sign on the Obey Omnis, and then it's a free vehicle. The reason is of the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack. There is this thing in the game called the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack where you get like very certain properties and like very certain vehicles for free, which therefore makes a free option for the Obey Omnis. So because there's a way to get it for free, it's kinda really not that great of a prize ride option this time around. If you don't want to pay a bit of money to get the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack though, then it could be a pretty nice option, I guess, but yeah. Unfortunately, because it is free for me, I cannot really show like a proper price on here. But yeah. I'll go over performance of it nevertheless. And this will also be in the sports class, just like there are a couple like discounted just like your couple of discounted test ride vehicles in the game. But yeah, first of all, I gotta find on this spreadsheet since there's like 900, not 900, there's like 90, like 100 sport cars in the game. Okay. Obey Omnis. Apparently that is in the F tier for the sport class. F tier for sport class. Apparently that makes it 72. It is 72nd place for lap time, and then 82nd place top speed according to roughly 152 spreadsheet. So yeah, it is in the 70s and 80s for lap time and top speed. That's flat out terrible for the sport class. For performance, don't get it for performance at all. Honestly, I don't really feel there's that great options this time around, unfortunately, when it comes to the test rides here and like the prize ride. Which is a bit unfortunate, but yeah. Oh, and for those wondering, the discount thing here for the Fuga GTX, that's 115,500, and then just our classic here will be $474,000. And then, yes, onto your premium test ride for this time around. That will go to the Grotti Brioso RA. Grotti Brioso RA is like your one compact HSW vehicle in the game. But I believe this one is in the compact class, and I think it's the only one that has an HSW upgrade in that class. So no reason not to really get that one. If you want one of your better options for that class, then that's definitely going to be one of them. But yes, luxury autos this time around, I will go to the Ocelot Locust, and then I'll also go to the Overflot Morgon. Between these, I'm pretty sure only one of them is on discount, and I think that goes to the Locust here. Oh, and yeah, something else about the Jester Classic I forgot to mention. If the name Classic didn't give it away, it's like the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas version of the Jester, which is pretty damn cool. It's the old school San Andreas version of the Jester, which is very awesome. So that part's pretty cool, but the performance is not for the Jester Classic. But yeah, also August Sport Car here, 30% off. Yes, according to the newswire, 30% off. That's what I was thinking. This one was the one of the two on discount. So at least the build in Luxury Autos, it probably has like a livery and stuff on it, so it makes it a little more, but you get a nice fancy build to start on it already, which is pretty cool. That makes it $1,162,580. So that's the amount of money it will be there if you get it for 30% off, and you get this very particular build at Luxury Autos. Otherwise, you can get it very slightly cheaper, but not that much cheaper on like an actual website, which would be Legendary Motorsport in that case. But yes, the Oxalot Locust in the sport class, according to Bruffy 152 spreadsheet, that is in the D tier, and that makes it 50th place for lap time, and then that will be 39th place for top speed. So yeah, nowhere near your top 10 to really be all that viable, I would say, really, for performance. Something interesting about the Oxalot Locust is it's actually a retro nostalgic vehicle from a game back in the 2D universe of Grand Theft Auto game that was back when it was in like top-down perspective. It was in like Grand Theft Auto London 1961 or one. It was either 1961 or like 1969, like London or something. So it was actually a vehicle from like one of those like 2D universe like London GTA titles back on like the first PlayStation, which was pretty interesting. So it's a very interesting nostalgic vehicle that returns back from one of the very first GTA titles. So I would only really get it for the nostalgia, otherwise it's not really too worth it in my opinion. And that's more of a personal preference kind of reason. And then the Overflot and Morgan. I'm not going to say too much about this one when it's not on a discount at all. It will be on your full price, which will be $2,189,510. You'll also pay for delivery there, certainly, as well. But yes, Morgan, I think it's like an electric or like a hyper, like, I don't know. Not hyper, but like hybrid, I think was what I was trying to say, but yes. I think it's either one of those like electric or like hybrid vehicles in the game. Which, if it's electric, that already means that's probably going to have like pretty piss poor top speed. And yeah, if it's like a hybrid, I don't really recall it being the most amazing performance much either. It might place pretty good in like one area, but it's not going to be good for both lap time and top speed though. That's most definitely certain, I would imagine. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the? How's a BJXL when I was in here? What the fuck? I've never experienced that when it came to the dealership in Simeon's where there's like a vehicle just randomly in the middle. That must be like a leftover asset, I think, from when it was in like story mode, or like maybe like that business battle that used to be a thing. Maybe it was somehow like a leftover asset from like one of those things or something. It's probably that BJXL that Jimmy DeSantis and buying in story mode. What the fuck? That was creepy. Okay. But yeah. Your Simeon Premium Deluxe Reaper work vehicle this time around now will go to the Lampadati Visitorist, Vapid Ellie, the Progen Itali GTB, the P-Visitor Common Safari, and then last but not least go to the Debauche 770. And as far as I remember, your ones on discount would pretty much go to Visitorist and then the Ellie. I think these other three are all going to be full priced here. I'll make absolute sure on the newswire before I go any further, though. Alright, yes. Just the Visitors and the LE, yes. Those are your only two discounts. That will be a sport car 40% off and a muscle car 40% off. So I'll start off with the Visitors then. This is actually a very interesting vehicle here because you can actually weaponize it, so it actually gives it some more utility, which is nice. But yeah, at least a particular version over here, that will be $525,000. As far as I can tell, it's just a color on it. There's no like livery or anything on it. If it even has liveries, which I don't necessarily think it does have liveries. I remember there was vehicles back in Doomsday Heights that just flat out don't have liveries, I think, so I don't think it even has a livery option. But yes, I'll show it through the website here, since I want to show something about it. But yes, as you can see on the Lampadati Visitors, please note, weapon modifications can only be applied at Vehicle Workshop inside Avenger or Mobile Operations Center. You can also add the Arena Workshop now, as of like the Arena Wars DLC, as of like late 2018, they added like the Arena Workshop. As far as I know, those are like your only three options you can do for the weapon modifications for the Visitors. But yes, Visitors, you can only get machine guns on it. You can't really get anything else for weapons. It's only machine guns, which makes it pretty limited for what you can do with it. But yes, at least it has drive-by mounted weaponry at all. But yeah, at least it has mounted weaponry at all, though you can't really say that for like 95% of vehicles in the game, so that definitely gives it a lot of utility. So you can definitely use the Visitors for something like a headhunter, like VIP work pretty effectively, and you could probably make like 20 to 30,000 through that. So you could use it for something like headhunter pretty effectively, so you can make some okay money with it when it comes to like free mode money making, which you can't say for like 95% of vehicles in the game. So yeah, that's a very nice vehicle to obtain there. I would definitely get one if you have not got one already. 40% off for like 525,000. That's a very nice price there. And then next one here will be the Vapid Ellie, which will be your other one on a discount. and that is for the muscle car class. The very particular build here, if you want like delivery and stuff, that'll be $363,510. Very respectable price there, not a bad price at all. But yes, according to Roughly 1322 spreadsheet, the Vapid LE for the muscle car class, that will be for the F tier. It's an F tier, which is very bad. That is 44th place lap time and then 51st place top speed. And I think there's only like 60 to 70 muscle cars in the game, so that's definitely below average placement for both lap time top speed. That's definitely below average for both, which is pretty damn bad. But yeah, it's very cheap at least, and there's that. But unless you really like the vehicle, I just wouldn't bother with it. Only if you would want it for like a super personal preference kind of reason. And yeah, these other three will be on full price, so you will not be getting any sort of sale on these. I won't be spending as much time on these ones. So yeah, you'll be spending your normal $1,189,000 price here for the Itali GTB. And the Itali GTB, I would say the regular Itali GTB is not really that great. But you can turn it into an Itali GTB custom though. It is one of the vehicles on the Benny's website, which means that's a customized example here, which means you can turn it into a Benny's vehicle for much more customization. So if you want a very customizable vehicle, it's a very nice one to obtain. You can definitely get some of the most vehicle customization in the game by getting this one. But yeah, I don't even think it returns from like the 2D universe of GTA games even. I know the Itali GTO, that one's from like the very first Grand Theft Auto title, Grand Theft Auto 1 has the Itali GTO, but GTB, that might be original to Grand Theft Auto Online, so there might not be any nostalgia on that one. Next one here, we'll go to the P. Fisker Comet Safari. And that will be a $737,360 price there. Not bad. Very respectable, even though it's not on discount. It's a very respectable price. Again, I want to show something like that, similar to the Viserys here. It's actually a pretty decent vehicle. Even though it's on full price, it is a very nice one to pick up. And again, that's because just like the Viserys, there is weapon modifications that can be applied at the Vehicle Workshop in Avenger MOC or the Arena Workshop from the Arena War like 2018 DLC. So yes. And again, it will only be machine guns you can put on this one. You cannot do any other weapons on this as for machine guns, really. So at best, it'll probably be pretty good for something like a headhunter, which can get you like $20,000 to $30,000 or something. And even then, there's better options for that, anyways. It's not gonna give you the most utility, but it's something at least. So even on full price, I do highly recommend that one. And then last but not least is the Bache 770. If this one's good at all, I think it's in like the top speed department, but yeah. I don't really think this one has good performance at all. So I feel this one's the worst one of the bunch, honestly, for the few this time around. So at least the GTB you can turn to Benny's vehicle, and then the Comet Safari has weapons on it. 770 is definitely going to be your worst option on the Simeon Deluxe Repo Work, whatever. Repo Work, oops. The Premium Deluxe, like Motorsport, whatever. So yeah, I would avoid that one. Definitely avoid this one. If any at all. And then, yes, that does it for all the different showrooms. So yes, that does it for all the different showrooms in the game. So besides for that, I think I just got money opportunities, and there's not that much more discounts I think to cover, and then that'll pretty much be it. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about security contracts right now. So starting off with security contracts, there's a couple different methods in which you can do the security contracts. This is the least preferable option I'll show right here.
Yo, what you need?
But yeah, first of all, you need to be a VIP, CO, or MC president to do that. Not a big deal, that's not what I hate about it. When you do a security contract for here, though, you get a random one. The difficulty is random, and then you also get a random like option there. So because you have to deal with pure randomness when it comes to the security contract, I just don't feel it's recommended to do it for the phone. Instead, you want to go to your actual agency. Going to your actual agency, even though it might be more inconvenient, I just feel it's much better off for your security contracts, because then you get at least 3 options to choose from. In fact, you do get exactly 3 options, you don't get anything unless there are more there. And then you can also see your difficulty you're getting as well, so that's much better off too. But yeah. Again, with the wall safe, like passive income I was mentioning, it caps out at like 20,000 with like 200 to 201 security contracts. So that just goes to show if you do a good couple hundred security contracts, it makes for some very damn good passive income. So even if you're not big on the amount that the security contracts pays out, so even if you somehow were not big on the amount of security contracts themselves pays out, keep in mind it does give you the passive income increases for 200, 201. again, that like data leak thing, that'll be your whole entire VIP contract. Instead of paying 1 million with 2 times, that should be 2 million. And then you also get 2 times on the RP as well there. Not really going to mention much more on that one. It's a whole like couple hours worth of like missions and stuff. There's a lot to explain with that all that I wouldn't remember all that much. But yeah, security contracts. Again, like I was mentioning, you get 3 different options entirely. And yeah, again, my contract's complete is 201, so I could get the $20,000 passive income. So yes, it is worth doing a couple hundred security contracts for that passive income. Trust me, it's so fucking worth it. Especially if you're a content creator and you spend a lot of time in the game. Or if you just spend a lot of time in the game in general, then obviously it's very worth it there too. But yes, professional, that will be your absolute worst difficulty there. So for recover valuables, that'll be at 82,500 on the like 2 times money. So instead of being like 40,000, you're getting like 80,000, which is pretty insane for the least difficulty. Recover valuables is actually another one of your better options as well. Recover valuables is actually one of your better ones you could be doing if you know what is good. Rescue operation. This professional one, you're only getting like 75,000, so it's like 30-ish thousand normally. It's still very nice, respectable amounts. Like I was saying, this makes for some very damn good free mode money making. Because again, like I had Hunter VIP work, and it's like 20 to like 30,000 on like regular money. This is substantially better than that. And you can do a good fuck ton of these in like an hour. Make some pretty decent buck here. Yeah, rescue operation is not a bad one at all. It's a pretty damn easy one in my opinion. One I absolutely do not recommend doing though. I've only done one of these, and that's gang termination. Well, actually, the reason it's one is not because it's a bad one per se, it's because it was actually a glitched one for the longest time. But yeah, when they first released it, there was like glitches with it where like the enemies wouldn't even like spawn in it or something, so like they had to take it out of the game for the whole entire like contract DLC pretty much, besides for the initial release of it. And then they fixed it and then they brought it back, I think, for the Criminal Enterprise DLC. But yeah, Specialist, that is your next best difficulty aside professional. Yeah, professional, then it goes specialist, and then specialist plus. So this is like the middle, like mid-tier difficulty here. And you're getting over 100,000 with that, which is pretty nice, and that's not even specialist plus as well. Specialist is, by the way, the highest difficulty I think you can get on gang termination and rescue operation. These two will cap out at specialist, I believe. As far as I've heard, there's only 2 in the entire game that will actually give you Specialist Plus. And apparently the reason for that is because you actually take them over to your agency. The only security contracts that apparently give you the option for Specialist Plus are ones where you actually have to take something to your agency, which is to recover valuables over here. And then I think there's one where you have to like bring the vehicle to your agency. The one where you like bring the vehicle to your agency is like the other one that gets you Specialist Plus. So even though this one's worst difficulty, whenever you see Specialist Plus on this one, you definitely want to take it. trust me, definitely want to take that one if it's Specialist Plus. And then you get a vehicle recovery one. It's a simple one where you just take a vehicle from like a garage or something. Like, yes, there's enemies, and enemies can be a little bit annoying in there, but there's ways to make it pretty easy for the vehicle one. There's like 5 or 6 like security contracts. I'm trying to think. But yeah. Aside for the free listed here, it's the vehicle one where you get like the Specialist Plus option again. The 5th one I can think of is like Asset Protection. There's a really terrible one called Asset Protection. I've literally only done it one time. Asset Protection is so terrible. It's actually the worst option for asset protection. For one, I think it lasts like 10 or 15 minutes, so it lasts like a minimal time. Whereas like all the other ones, they end like whenever you finish the task. So asset protection is very trash since you have to wait 10 to 15 minutes. Nothing will speed up the mission at all, unlike the other ones where you can speed it up by being pretty good in the missions. And then I think the other one's like the opposite of like asset protection, where you're actually like destroying assets actually. The one where you destroy assets isn't really too terrible. I think it's a pretty fine one. It's definitely better than gang termination and yeah. The one where you destroy assets is actually better than gang termination and asset protection, I would definitely say. And yeah. Asset protection and the one where you destroy assets, those cap out. Those cap out at specialist difficulty. But yeah. But yes. Gang termination. I didn't exactly explain what makes it bad per se. I just explained I was like glitched at a moment. But yes. With gang termination, I didn't explain exactly what makes it horrible. All I said was that there was a glitch, I think, at one point that made it, like, get taken off the game or something. Like a glitch where you couldn't progress in the mission. But yeah. Gang termination. AI is in gang termination actually have some pretty good accuracy if I recall, and yeah. You have to like find certain like priority targets or something, so you have to spend time like finding a certain character, which is kind of annoying. Or like multiple certain characters that you have to take out or something. Which can make the mission kind of drag on, which is not the greatest. So yeah, even though gang termination does work fine now, I don't really think it's one of your better options regardless. And yeah, just to show you how much money you can make from the 201 contracts to max out on your like passive income, that's 21,240. 21,200. Oh, if I'm saying thousand, whoops, I think I am. $21,240,250. There we go. And this amount down here was mostly on regular money, I think. Most of the ones I did here was actually on like regular money and not on 2 times money, if I recall. So if you were to do like 200, 201 for the passive income somehow in like the 1 week with it on 2 times, which is definitely doable, I'm pretty sure. If you have a lot of time on your hands, you could probably make like 30 to 40 million if you get to that kind of amount, which is absolutely nuts. So it's definitely one of your better money opportunities in the game, I feel, definitely. As with the last couple years of new content, at least. So yeah, as of your last couple years, definitely one of your better options. When it comes to newer stuff in the game, definitely when it comes to newer stuff in the game, yes. But if you want to stay in free mode, I think the security contracts will honestly be your best money opportunity if you want to stay in free mode and you don't want to go into separate lobbies with like the VIP contract that gets you like the $2 million in like 2 hours. Technically, with free mode money, you could probably make more than that with like the pay-on-A and like the security contract combination I was mentioning earlier, where you combine them basically in like an hour. You could probably make better money that way in like 2 hours compared to the actual contract itself for the data leak finale or whatever. But yeah. For the too long didn't listen version, by the way, of the security contracts, 2 best options: recover valuable and vehicle recovery, because they provide the specialist plus as the option. So whenever those are specialist plus, those would be your best options to take possible, because those are the only 2 that can be specialist plus, because they're the ones that have stuff in the agency. Oh wow, the gun van, I actually was not expecting to find it. I swear the last 3 streams I've actually found it on my own, which is pretty insane. I found it in this exact same location before, actually, in like a previous live stream a couple streams ago, actually, which is pretty insane. I know there's only like 30 set locations or something, but it's still, I think so.
Stuff I think you'll want to see.
I'll show it since I'm here, why not? But yeah, those are the 9th gen only like livery things you can get right now for the local liveries. And then yeah, heavy rifle. This will actually be on a discount, I believe, as well, by the way.
That kind of rifle speaks for itself.
There is 40% off the heavy rifle. That's a very damn good assault rifle option. It has 60 rounds too, I'm pretty sure, right? Okay, yeah, it says rounds times 60, so it definitely does. So it's not...
You know, that rifle's a modern classic.
It's not like the military rifle, which is like the most recent option I can think of that does not have 60 rounds. But yeah. Essentially, it's one of your later, like, assault rifle editions that has 60 rounds to it, so I think that definitely makes it one of your better assault rifle options of lately, for certain.
Trust me. You can trust that rifle.
It was also a beta weapon in the game, actually. It was meant to be a weapon back in, like, 2013, which meant it was supposed to be back in, like, the story mode as well for the heavy rifle, but it was scrapped and then it finally got brought back. It was cut content that was brought back in the contract DLC, which is pretty cool. So that's a cool fun fact about that as well, which could make it pretty fun to use. It even has like the exclusive like families tint on here, the families finish on here, so if you want your weapon to look pretty cool while you're using it, this is definitely one of your better options for the assault rifle class in that case.
Rifle's a modern classic.
But yeah. If I remember right, it is one of your better damaging options. But yeah. If I remember right, it is one of your better damaging options for the assault rifle class. It is one of your better damaging options, which might let you finish things a bit quicker for enemy kills and whatnot. For player versus player and player versus enemy and whatnot. Machete apparently is one in here for some reason. Machete, that's just a fucking melee weapon. You're not gonna get much use out of this one. Just get it to collect it. You're not gonna really get much use out of this one, let's be honest here. Unless it's like your favorite melee weapon.
In a good way.
Personally, it's my favorite melee weapon, so if I were to use a melee weapon at all, for like a more traditional melee weapon, then I would probably use it, but it's not going to give you much usage in the game, let's be real. Sweeper shotgun. Get a sweeper shotgun. I think you can drive by with this one on like a motorcycle, which is pretty cool. You can actually drive by with this shotgun, if I recall, on like a motorcycle, which is very cool. But you also have like a sawed-off shotgun that you can use on a motorcycle too, I think. So it's not the only shotgun that can be used as a drive-by on like a motorcycle, if I recall. But it uses some utility over some other shotguns, so that could be something.
Short distance work.
Combat MG. Obviously, being in the gun van, it's only going to be the Mark 1 Combat MG because it's in the gun van. And not like your agency or something. And not like your agency or something, but yeah. A Mark 1 Combat MG. The Combat MG is pretty much one of your best weapons in the game, from what I've heard. From what I've heard, in a very serious like player versus player situation, the Combat MG could be like your best weapon of the game. Whether it's a Mark 1 or a Mark 2, both are pretty damn good options apparently for general combat usage.
I'll not be beaten on automatic weapons. That's what you want? You're in the right place.
A railgun.
Just so you know, that's a limited time offer.
Railgun being new with the Santos like Drug Wars DLC, that's obviously still here since it's from the Drug War DLC. They're not gonna remove it probably until like the next DLC comes out, I'm assuming. So it'll probably stay in there for a while. And this one's obviously very good, as I've mentioned quite a times before.
Like you're thinking. Do it once,
Precision
do it right,
rifle.
Right?
Just don't. This one's fucking garbage though. This one's actual fucking garbage though. It's basically the day one sniper rifle, but it's a lock on and it doesn't shoot as far and whatnot. Like sure.
Now that is a precision instrument.
But yeah. But yeah, sure. If you're in like a close range situation and you want to go for like a precision headshot, then it can be kind of nice, but pretty much any weapon in the game could be very good for headshots, really, so why would you use it for that? It's like the one good use is for a precision headshot, but most other weapons can already kind of do that, essentially. This is probably like the worst weapon addition they've done in like 2022 or something. Yeah, I think this is from Criminal Enterprise, yeah.
I'm pre-calibrated.
But yeah. This weapon was from Criminal Enterprise, which was 2022. This was definitely 2022's worst weapon here.
Now that is a precision.
Literally, it's just a Mark 1, like, sniper rifle. It's literally just a, like, regular sniper rifle. Yes, it's literally just a regular sniper rifle, but it's a lock-on instead of, like, be able to zoom far out with like a scope and stuff. So it's basically just a worse. It's basically just a worse sniper rifle from day one in the game. If you do not
Doing a
care
bit
to
of long
collect every
range
weapon,
work, are
just
we?
don't get it. Only get it if you want to collect it for your like weapon collection, essentially, and that's probably the only reason to
Can't
get
be
it.
found anywhere but this van. Guaranteed.
But yeah, if I was not very clear on the heavy rifle, this is 40% off. It's a 40% off discount.
Only sold by yours truly.
And then, yeah, your other weapon discount, that will be for subscription only. So, yeah, you need the 9 only subscription that gets you, like, delivery here. You need that to get
That's black market
45% off
only.
the Unholy Hellbringer. But, yeah,
Won't find that in
it's essentially the
ammunition.
combat MG over here, but it's, like,
Can't be
infinite
found
ammo.
anywhere but this van. Guaranteed.
But, yeah.
Hell of a price, huh? Won't be here forever.
It's basically the same thing as a combat
Only
MG,
sold by
except you have
yours
infinite
truly.
ammo, you don't have to reload at all. Not infinite ammo, you just don't have to reload, which is cool. So it's basically a
That's
better combat
black
MG in some
market only.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Either the combat MG or the regular MG, one of those.
Never here. I
But yeah,
never here.
notice that the MG and the combat MG, they have like 2 numbers, which suggests you have to reload. But yeah, there's 2 numbers on the MG, combat MG, so you have to reload those, but Unholy Hellbringer, you do not have to reload, so it's basically a no reload version of the combat MG. Very nice. Very good weapon there. Definitely a very nice, good weapon there. But yes, keep in mind the Unholy Hellbringer, you're only getting that 45% off if you have the subscription that is only on the 9th-gen systems, the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and S. So unless you're on like those free systems and you get that subscription, you're not going to be getting that 45% off, and it'll instead be the regular full price. Either way you slice it, it's a very nice weapon to pick up. I definitely would pick it up if you can. But yeah, again, a little reminder that there's the 1.5 times money on the payphone hits. Like I said, you basically just want to do the bonus. You just want to do the bonus so you get the extra money. If you don't get the bonus, then it's not worth it at all. Make sure you get the bonus. If not, then I think you can reset the payphone hit and be able to do a different one if you go to another lobby. But yeah, payphone hits, I do recommend calling Franklin. Unlike the security contracts, you do want to call Franklin for the payphone hits. Otherwise, you have to find like a payphone like throughout the overworld of the game, which isn't the most efficient. You don't want to rely on like a random spawn for like a payphone hit on like the map. You just want to call Franklin for that. Whereas security contract, you just do that on like the actual computer, which is always available. So that's why you want to go to the actual property for the security contracts. But yeah. Again, I think it's like $80,000 or something with like the bonus. Normally, 1.5 times money, I think gets you to like 110, like 120,000 or something, which can be very nice money. And again, the cooldown's like 20 minutes per payphone hit, so it's essentially free per hour. So yeah, I think that's like free payphone hits per hour. combine that with all the different like security contracts you can do, you can easily probably make like $1 million per hour or something for free mode money, which is absolutely insane. Definitely don't sleep on the security contracts and the pay finance. Very damn good money opportunities. When you combine them together, they're meant to be combined very well together. Certainly they were meant to be combined together very efficiently, being from the same update and everything. Honestly, they might be better off than the data leaks. Because, yeah, I think it's like 2 to 3 hours and you get like 2 million for that, which you could probably make even more than that with the security contracts payphone hits. And yeah, data leaks, I don't really have anything more to add to that. Frames already said everything there is for that. And I'm just making sure on more money opportunities. I'm going slow on the news wire for some reason on my phone. Security contract, payphone hit, I already mentioned this. Data leaks, yes. But yeah, I already logged in for the clothing items, so let me actually go to the clothing store to show that off. For those curious for what it looks like. Like, yeah, sure, you can see an image on the newswire, but if someone wants more of like an in-game look at it, then I'll do that then. But yeah, like I was saying, you don't want to do those blue icon payphone hits because they're randomly appearing. You don't want to rely on RNG. You don't want to rely on RNG, you just want to call up Franklin so you can do it whenever you want to. Because if you call Franklin, he'll just do one for you anyways that you can go to. Like, it's nice if there's one already there. I'd sure do it if there's one actually available like that, but yeah. Just worth calling Franklin, let's be real now.
Hope you find
Yeah,
whatever it is you're looking for.
yeah, this seems like it would be right, yeah. Here it is. The white WCC West Coast Classic DJ Poo T. So that's what it looks like and everything if you want that. All you have to do is log in for it. You don't have to really do anything else. And honestly, it's mostly like white and bland and stuff. Like most of the like login stuff I feel, but West
Over
Coast
here if
Classic's
you
pretty
need me.
cool. DJ is pretty cool as well. Let's be real, he's pretty tight. You can literally see his character in Record 8 Studios. It's cool as fuck. So I think it's definitely a pretty nice one for a login reward compared to the usual. But yeah, some of the like 6 tracks seem to be like gospel, the scenic route, black privilege, ETA. So yeah, I'm really not sure what they mean with like completing the data leaks gets you access to those 6. Again, I think normally you have to pick up like a music stick or something. So maybe like this event you don't have to pick up the music maybe this event you don't have to pick up the music stick and they'll just give you the music by completing the like contract thing. I'm not sure. It's kind of confusing. It's definitely on the music, on like the music stick or whatever, so maybe just on the clock there or something. It's super confusing what they're even trying to explain on the news wire there. Again into the wild. But yes, again into the wild will be that versus mode. Again, that'll be that versus mode that I was mentioning near the beginning when it was on the what's new section. The money you make all depends on like the amount of rounds and like the amount of players and stuff, and on like stuff like versus modes and like adversary modes and things all like depending on like the amount of players and like how much rounds and stuff. Yes. So again, at most I would say it would be like a couple 100,000 for like 1 hour, which is terrible, but yes. This mode is probably only available for the month of March. But yeah, given they've all pretty much all the versus modes in the game, I would only expect this to be available for the month of March. Once April comes around, expect this to be gone again. So if you want to play it for a limited time, then now's your time to do that. As far as I know, they don't mention any other like returning game mode. They don't actually mention another returning game mode, so either they didn't return anything else, or like they did and they didn't specify. Firing Circuit, I think, is always available. Stun obviously is always available. Transform. Nothing there would be like time limited or anything on races, I'm pretty sure. Same with death matches. Capture, last team standing. Nail, I think Spring Control is available as well. They obviously didn't bring back the alien survival, so that wouldn't really make sense. Right now, they don't really do that with missions. Parachuting Spring Control is available. So maybe there's some other adversary modes for the month of March. So yeah, perhaps there's new adversary modes for the month of March that weren't previously available for like years or something. Maybe. Oh, okay, Overtime Rumble. That's definitely one that wasn't available for a while, I think. Regular Sumo and Trapdoor, I think I'm noticing. Alright, yes. I think those are returned for the month of March here, definitely. But yeah, Overtime Rumble. It's essentially a game mode where you use the Ruiner 2000 and you use like the parachute capability, and then you're supposed to land on like a bullseye, like target thing or something. Seems like a pretty fun one on paper. But yeah. One of them is typically better than the other. There's Overtime Rumble and then there's Overtime Shootout. I forget which one the people tend to find more interesting and like fun. I think Rumble is the more interesting, like fun one from what I've heard at least. Shootout might be the one that people don't like as much, so Rumble might be the one that people tend to like more between Rumble and Shootout, so that'd be a pretty fun one to revisit while it's available again for the month of March, before it most definitely gets bolted for the month of April. They'll probably put it on Money Opportunity at some point, but yeah. So I probably wouldn't play it this week, I would probably wait for another week to play it now. Regular Sumo, it's basically going to be like a less fun version of the Sumo Remix that's pretty much always available. So if you wanted to play like regular Sumo for a while again, now you can. With this one, keep in mind you only get 4 players on the Mace Bank map though. And again, I think some of the payouts depending on like the amount of players, so you probably kind of in some capacity want to avoid this Sumo 4. But if you want more chance to make good money with less players to compete against, then Sumo 4 would be good for that regard. But again, I would probably wait till the end of the month for when they put it on like some sort of Money Opportunity for some other event week for March. And then you have Trapdoor. Judging by the name, there's some kind of like trapdoor gimmick and stuff. Definitely, if I recall, it's a pretty fun mode, but yeah. I don't play every mode like so constantly or anything back when you used to be able to play anything whenever you wanted to, before they did all the dumb vaulting content and whatnot. So yeah, definitely some pretty interesting returning adversary modes for the month of March. As far as I know, it's only going to be those 4 things. I think that's pretty much the usual amount of stuff they do. So it should just be those 4 things, as far as I'm aware, for the month of March for returning game modes. But I didn't mention any of those anywhere in the news wire, but I don't remember those being there in February, but so those must be the game modes for March. So expect some of those to be feature money opportunities. And yeah. Again, community series will apparently be permanently doubled, apparently, so that's pretty interesting. 2 of them have indicators. But yeah. Only the newest ones have indicators, but apparently the whole entire community series will be double money RP from here on out. So there's always going to be incentive from here on out to play them. So that's definitely pretty interesting. But yeah, community series is definitely some of the fun. Definitely some of the funnest content you could ever play in the game is definitely going to be your community series, but again, it's obviously not going to be very good money making.
I sent it online.
And then it looks like I'm onto the discounts already. So it seems I'm finally onto the discounts here. And most of them have already been covered, and there's only like a select like couple that I probably still have to mention. I do want to go in more details on the agency. I was only mentioning like some of the highlights for when it was on the main menu. I wanted to mention some highlights for a quick need-to-know basis, but I'll go more in depth with it now. Right now it's on executive. But yeah, Holic I think is the most expensive one. As I own it, I cannot show like what the price would be for that, unfortunately. Looks like your cheapest one is going to be a little Soul for the agency, which is normally 2,010,000. You can get that for 1,206,000. So at cheapest, you can get like 800,000 savings, which is definitely pretty nice. You can kind of get that money in like one heist instead of like two heists, which is definitely quite nice. In the case of Caprico Heist, I know it's not good anymore, as anywhere near as good anymore, but it's still a very good metric for determining like how much money you can make like per hour, kind of. Still around like 800, like 900,000 savings there. It looks like this one you're getting almost $1 million savings for Rockford Hills. So if you get Holic, you're probably getting over 1 million savings. I assume you'll probably get over like 1 million savings on Holic for sure. So you can definitely get very nice savings on 40% there. I think Holic's definitely a very nice location. I think it is the most expensive, but I do like it a lot because it's like right next to the casino. I do think it's nice having it next to the casino for sure. But yeah. Completely cosmetic art there for 40% off. Completely cosmetic wallpaper 40% off. And a completely cosmetic highlight 40% off. Nothing crazy there at all, obviously. As I mentioned on the what's new section, the armory is very nice. I didn't really want to explain much for why it's very nice on the what's new section, because I wanted to kind of get through that part kind of quick. But yeah. Armory gives you some of the best discounts you can get in the game for weapons, probably aside for the new gun van. The new gun van is probably definitely better off when it comes to discounts for like the weapons there. But again, the advantage the armory has over the gun van is you pretty much have almost every single weapon in the game that you can get at like any single time, so. And the armory is always going to be near one same location. You don't have to like worry about where it moves every single day, unless of course you subscribe to that like plus subscription, then it's flipped for you every time. Otherwise, you have to actually find it. Which yes, I know there's like collector maps which make. And yes, I know there's like maps on the internet where now you can look up and do it that way, and it's very easy to do. But it's just an aggravating method of finding it, honestly. I just feel the armory is definitely. I still feel the armory is your best place to get weapons, personally, usually. And yeah, I think you can buy armor here too. You can actually buy armor here too, which I think makes it the only other place that's for ammunition in the new gun van where you can buy the armor. There's not really much point to get armor at the gun van, honestly, when you can just get it at the armory. So I think the armory is definitely going to be your best option for buying body armor. Definitely, I think it's the best place to get body armor. unless you're like all across the map, then ammunition, honestly, in some ways could still be your best option for buying armor from like 2013, but you can always just set the agency as your spawn location, and then you can always just go there in like another lobby or something, which makes it more convenient in that regard. So it's one of the better ways between a couple methods of getting armor. You can even do like Mark II upgrades here as well, so if you can get like the weapon workbench here that you get in like your MOC, Avenger, like the Kazaka, all kinds of different properties. You got the Mark II workbench here, and you get your like ammunition lineup of weapons as well, which is awesome. So not only do you get Mark II weapons, you get like all the like regular weapons here too. Which I think is the only like weapon shop where you actually can pretty much buy just about almost everything in the game. That's the most convenient weapon place in the game, definitely. So I would definitely get the armory. But yeah, accommodation, that's what actually allows you to spawn in the agency. If you do not have accommodation, I do not think you're allowed to spawn here at all. You are definitely not allowed to spawn here at all if you don't have accommodation, I'm certain of that. So I would get it just so you can spawn here. But yeah, honestly, the previous Dynasty executive property, like the offices for the Dynasty 8 executive is honestly a better spawn location since you can do like weaponized helicopters as well. But yeah, you do get some air transportation, which is quite nice. You do get some nice air transportation, which is definitely quite welcome for the agency. Since you get access to helicopters, it definitely makes it one of your better options for spawn convenience, making it one of your better spawn locations of the game.
I'm just saying, I don't want to end up peeing in my coffee cup again.
But I would be lying if I said it was better than the office, since you cannot spawn weaponized helicopters here, not even like a simple buzzard, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think you can do simple buzzards here at all, even. So if you want like a buzzard or something, you have to still do the office, which is quite unfortunate, but yeah. Still a nice property, but yeah. And also for another comparison to the office that I don't like this one for spawn convenience and whatnot. If you go to your like office assistant, they actually like call any vehicle from like any property. But yeah, if you go to your office, your assistant can actually get a vehicle from like any property in the game, not just from your actual office garage. Whereas in the agency, you can only call vehicles that are like in your actual agency garage. That's something I absolutely despise. Like if they actually let you spawn any vehicle from like this property like they do for the office garage, that would be amazing. But it's not like that for ground transportation, unfortunately. Like it is in the office. So it's honestly, for spawn convenience, I think it's pretty much inferior to the office in every single way possible. So why not just spawn out your office from like 2016 instead? I can't think of like one advantage much, honestly. Unless you want to do like security contracts like right as you spawn in or something like that. Which is good for this week, but not usually. Like, yes, a passive money could be a nice advantage for spawning here if you want to get to it pretty quick. But yeah, 95% of the time the office will be a better spawn location from literally 2016. But yeah, good spawn location, just not too many uses for it over other properties. And yes, vehicle workshop. The vehicle workshop, again, that's how you get access to your Amani tech. So you absolutely want the vehicle workshop if you're going to get these Amani tech vehicles like the Omnis EGT, that's not like the Podium, for example. Amani tech is definitely some of your more interesting vehicles as of the last couple years. they're basically like the newest like set of weaponized vehicles, essentially, and like armored vehicles they've been doing in the game within like the last year to two. And they have like missile lock-on jammer, which prevents like missile lock-on. No other like type of content can do that aside for like the Amani tech for the most part. So you get missile lock-on jammer and armor plating. It's fucking amazing for survivability in free mode and whatnot in a player versus player situation. I already went over all the gun van discounts, don't gotta do that. And then I think there's only one vehicle discount that's yet to be covered that's not on a showroom of any kind. But yeah. Locust. The Locust that was at Luxury Autos. Chester Classic that was actually one of the test ride vehicles for the test track. For the Jester Classic, same goes for the Futo GTX. Ellie and then the Visitorist, those were at Simeon's that already takes care of 5 out of 6 vehicle discounts. So yeah, I think it's just one more, and that will be on Severn San Andreas. And it's going to be one of your better vehicle discounts too. It's definitely going to be one of your better vehicle discounts, I would say, for sure, for this event. I'll explain later as well, and here it is. You will get 30% off the Mammoth Patriot Mil-Spec. In my opinion, it's actually one of your more interesting Amani Tech vehicles in the game. Install exclusive modifications at the agency vehicle workshop. So yeah, it's a use for your agency vehicle workshop. I was explaining for the access to the Amani Tech stuff. Yeah, Mammoth Patriot Mil-Spec off-road, 30% off. On a trade price, instead of $1,282,500, it will be $897,750. So on a trade price, it's only around $400,000 difference. It's not too huge on 30% off, but I mean, hell, it's at least under $1 million now for this week on a trade price. That's very damn cool. But yes. Starting off, something pretty interesting with the Mil-Spec is it's actually a nostalgic vehicle from the 3D universe of the Grand Theft Auto series, kind of, not exactly. It essentially looks the same as the one from Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto Liberty City stories, I would imagine as well, because it's also in Liberty City. At least Grand Theft Auto 3 has this for sure for the Patriot Mil-Spec. It's essentially the same body style and whatnot, which is absolutely cool as fuck. So that nostalgia is definitely very nice. Nice throwback to Grand Theft Auto 3. And then yes, agency. You get your armor plating. The way agency vehicles work. The way agency vehicles work is you get a little tiny bit of armor, at least for homing rockets, I believe. You get a little bit of armor for homing rockets, if I recall, without armor plating, but the bulk of your armor comes from the armor plating, so even if you're not the biggest on armor plating, usually you do want the armor plating for the resistance, obviously, for the explosives. The mining tech gives you the missile lock-on jammer or the remote control unit. You cannot do both missile lock-on jammer and remote control unit at the exact same time, so you can only choose one. So which one do you choose? I would definitely say you want the not remote. I would definitely say you want the missile lock-on jammer on this one, since it is an SCV. Being an SCV, it's actually not going to be that speedy. I think it's actually like the slowest money tech vehicle from what I've heard as well, so you do definitely want that missile lock-on jammer on this one, as you would for like 95% of, as you would for a vast majority of the money tech vehicles. You definitely do want the missile lock-on jammer. But yeah, the vehicle looks too unique, I would say, to really work with a like missile lock. It looks too unique to work well with the remote control unit, I would definitely say. And yeah, being in a mining tech vehicle from the contract DLC, that means you get the front-mounted machine guns on it, which means you can use it for stuff like Headhunter and whatnot without having to use like a drive-by weapon, which is nice. But yeah, being a high-up SUV, I think it should give it some pretty good placement on the like machine guns. So machine gun placement should be pretty nice and decent for the placement of the guns. So you might even be able to like shoot like a character out of their vehicle and not their actual vehicle, which could be useful in certain circumstances due to the higher placement of the guns on it, with it being higher up, being an SUV. And then yeah, it gets the silic mines. Silic mines pretty much have on all the mining tech vehicles, so nothing too crazy there, just spins vehicles out. Just spins vehicles out for the silic mines, nothing too crazy. But yeah. The main advantage to the Patriot Mill spec that no other mining tech vehicle has to be like the canopy or whatever you can put on like the back of it. Gives you like back protection. None of the other like the mining tech vehicles I think allow for back protection, but this one has like something that protects the back of it, which is absolutely amazing. So if you get like certain modifications, you absolutely will not get shot in the back window, which is the main benefit of it compared to the rest of them. So that's the one like huge exclusive benefit to the mill spec compared to other monster vehicles. So yeah, I think it definitely makes it one of the more interesting mining tech vehicles. Not being able to get shot in that back window is definitely a nice help for even more survivability than you already get with the armor plating and the missile lock-on jammer. You even get like a third layer of protection for your character, which is insane. But yeah, vehicle discounts, I'm trying to think of which ones are the better ones to get. I think the Patriot Mil-Spec and the Viserys are definitely the two better vehicle discounts, I think. Just because they're weaponized and have like the money tech stuff in the case of Mil-Spec. Patriot Mil-Spec and Viserys are definitely clear winners, I would say, this time around for the discounts. As for the rest of the discounts, I don't think any of them even performed that good really this time around, so those are definitely your two best discount options. Mil-Spec, Patriot Mil-Spec, and Viserys. But yes. Now I think I'm just going to do the time trials and then I'm going to be done. I'm not going to play it like security contract or whatever when I can just do that on my own time. Yes, I can do time trials on my own time too, but I like to do them. They're a nice quick source of money if you can do it pretty efficiently and whatnot. I don't know, I kind of just like to do all the different time trials each time for the regular one on the drag. I just like to use my HSW vehicles a lot to take advantage of that 9th gen hardware, because Rockstar's barely even using the 9th gen hardware, I feel. Until they like fully drop support for the 8th gen systems, I feel they're not really taking too much advantage of the 9th gen hardware, aside for certain vehicles that go quicker, really. So I kind of like to use my 9th gen hardware more efficiently. And then, yeah, I like to do the HSW time trials because obviously they're exclusive to 9th gen versions, so I like to do it a lot.
What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them round.
I guess it's not really my second garage here, that's alright.
I'll get there as soon as I can.
That's my Bikers DLC kind of garage there, or whatever. Wait, what? Oh, I was thinking of another time trial. When it came to, like, off-road. But, yeah, that's right. I think these are those, like, Diamond Casino Resort time trials and not the ones from, like, the Heist DLC. I forgot about that, actually. Yeah, this one's just on the road, it looks like, so it's nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be, actually, already, then. I was thinking of a whole different one. That I think goes up to, like, the hill or something, it's not too much further. I think it starts somewhere pretty similar as well, or something. And yeah, if it's not clear, I'm pretty much done talking about event stuff here. I'm just doing time trials right this moment. Oh shit, damn. Oh fuck, then. Oh, how did I run into this? Damn it. I was trying to go for as best of time as I could. God damn it, you fucked up, fool. I still easily whooped it though, since HSWs have good on that generation for these older ass time trials that are more meant for regular vehicles. So I still killed it anyways though. Still pissed me off though. I was trying to go for as good of a time as I could, but that Granger fucking ruined it or some shit. Yes. But yes. It was definitely the Granger there that fucking ruined it for me there. Pretty sure it was a Granger it was. I see. Screw G's cash. I don't care for that shit. I would definitely always take business supplies though. I'll definitely take a business supplies though. Definitely no. And yeah. Time trial number 2 for the Izzy Rally HSW I'm doing here.
I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels?
That's the current one I'm on right now.
I'll bring it to you.
Alright, that's the Alistair warehouse area one that I remembered. So, first try, it's looking like good. Alright, yep, first try easily. I swear, I think I did the exact same thing with like the NTMT, and it took me so much more tries. Probably because the NTMT's complete trash lap time. Apparently for HSW, things like 20th place for the NTMT in lap time. Whereas the Izzy Rally for the other Los Santos Drug Wars one is actually also good lap time, but yeah. The Aston Custom, I think it's better lap time. I think this one's better top speed for the two SCV HSW vehicles in the game. So I figured this one would go easier than that one, definitely. So much easier than this one was first try, whereas the NTMT one was so much more effort, I feel. Honestly, something I don't like about this HSW vehicle is that the headlights get destroyed so easily, you know? Whereas the NTMT and like a whole bunch of other HSW vehicles, those headlights aren't get destroyed as easy. It's just a personal nitpick, it's nothing like, super crazy or anything. Just something I noticed, to be honest. But yeah, almost 2 hour, 45-minute live stream got in. That's what happens when someone's constantly in my way and shit during my live stream and shit. Someone just purposely decided to be an obnoxious turd and going into the fucking bathroom so many fucking times in a fucking row in like half fucking hour. Like, goddamn, they were probably in the bathroom like good cobbled a few several fucking times. Like a half hour, I'm not even making that shit up. You living in a fucking house with a connected ass fucking bathroom and other fucker just fucking goes in every time they need to do it. Don't spit and don't fucking clear the throat in their own fucking room like I fucking do and shit. Or do that and go in the bathroom constantly. Especially when it doesn't fix shit like that with it in the fucking first place. But anyways, I think that's definitely gonna be it for this stream. Unfortunately, it was another boring event week. Nothing for new content this time around. The money opportunities are fucking amazing though, so definitely great money grinding for those who want to do that. Maybe I'll do that off stream after this at some point. Honestly, I feel it's definitely some of the better stuff going on right now, so if I don't do this event, then I don't know if I'll make money for a while in this game then. Amazing free mode money making opportunities, which I do prefer free mode money making that's not tied to business, so it's perfect for me, honestly. Like, I like business stuff, but like, I don't know. Just some of them you have to like buy the supplies in the case of like special cargo. You have to like pay for this stuff like in special cargo. Vehicle cargo is some pretty shit, like source missions. Biker stuff, I feel just too inefficient to do solos. Same with bunker. Unless you do like one thing of supplies, but you barely even make a profit when you buy one thing of supplies. Like 400, 500,000, which is okay, I guess, but it's not something I like to do constantly. Is what I more so mean. And what else? I'm trying to think. I don't know, I feel a lot of the business stuff, there's always like something wrong with like some of the business stuff that I just don't prefer. Security contracts and pay for minutes is definitely one of my better grinds, I would say. With the Kyle nurse and everything though. I might definitely be playing some off stream for once. Over 2 hours for 5 minutes now, goddamn, but yeah. Next stream will be next week on an event stream essentially. That's probably gonna be it for this stream.